Alrighty guys, we're back for some Selesnya Nia Cats, and this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan early access standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some games, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I build all kinds of different decks, but I do prefer aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well. Also, we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? Some new kitty cats. A Kutzil. Malamet Exemplar. This is a 3-mana, 3/3 legendary creature, cat warrior. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Nice. Whenever one or more creatures you control with each with power greater than its base power deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. In this deck in particular, that could draw you a ton of different cards. It's great that it doesn't say like activates only once each turn or something. So very nice. More new kitty cat. Sovereign Okinec Ahau. Ahau? Well, I did my best. 4 mana, 3/4 legendary creature. It's a cat noble, rockin' ward 2. Whenever a sovereign attacks, for each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power, put a number of +1/+1 counters on that creature equal to the difference. That's interesting. I'm very interested to see if this is actually going to do anything today. I think so, as long as we're swinging with this, right? So unfortunately, it's not just like when those creatures attack, like this actually has to attack, but that ward 2 actually helps it stay around for the turn. So yeah, we'll see how good it actually is. But top end kitty cat here too. It is a Malamet War Scribe, 5 mana, 4/3 cat warrior. When it ETBs, creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Maybe a relatively janky pick, but that's why we have one of on the top end to try it out, right? More new kitty cats. Kutzil's Flanker. A 3 mana, 3/2 with flash. It is a cat warrior. Nice. When it ETBs, choose one. You can put a +1/+1 counter on Kutzil's Flanker for each creature that left the battlefield under your control this turn. Nice. So if they drop a sweeper, you can go ahead and drop the flanker and give it a bunch of counters. That sounds sweet. Or you can just gain 2 life and scry 2, not bad. Or exile target player's graveyard, which of course could come in handy, right? So really like the utility of this card. I think it's going to be terrific in here. Not a new kitty cat, but Jewel Thief is also making the cut as 3 of in here. It is a 3 mana, 3/3 Vigilance Trample. When it ETBs, create that treasure token. Nice. Gonna do a lot in here, probably. More kitties. Kemba, Kha Enduring is a 2 mana, 2/2. And when it enters, or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. And then for 3 and double white, you can create a 2/2 white cat creature token. Nice. So we do have a small equipment theme in here as well. All for Lion Sash, 2 mana, 1/1. Equipment cat. The reconfigure is 2. And for 1 white, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, you put a +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. Nice. Awesome little cat, huh? More new cats. Ironpaw Aspirant. It's a 2 mana. I'm really struggling with names today, guys. It's a 2 mana, 1/2. And when it ETBs, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. I actually don't know how good this is going to be, but at least it's a cat, right? And putting counters onto things in a deck like this that really cares about creatures not having their base power and toughness, right? We want it to have more. Then I think, yeah, I think it's actually going to be relatively decent. So more equipment. Here at the front of the build, we have a single Eater of Virtue. Just like equip 1 and then giving something +2/+0 isn't half bad. And then when the creature dies, you exile it. Then like that whole Eater of Virtue nonsense down there. I'm actually not going to go over it because it's been out for so long, but it's actually relatively decent. Unfortunately, like there's no great 2-drops that we care to exile with Eater of Virtue, but like Jewel Thief could be cool given something else, Vigilance and Trample. So we have a couple new ones here. Hunter's Blowgun is a 1 mana equipment. Equipped for 2. An equipped creature gets +1/+1. Equipped creature has Death Touch as long as it's your turn. Otherwise, it has Reach. Actually, like, it might be a janky pick, but I wanted a different kind of 1 mana equipment in here, and this happened to fit that spot. I just don't think it's that bad. Honestly, when you're swinging in on your turn and something has Death Touch, then the opponent just, like, doesn't want to block that with, like, anything. You know what I mean? You know what I haven't seen a lot of in this early access event? Shieldred. Shieldred's just, like, gone, guys. No one's playing with it right now, which is nice. But when we are playing against Shieldred again, whenever it actually comes time, then having that Death Touch on, like, a 2/2 or something just isn't half bad, man. We have a couple of Luxiors, a Giada's Gift in here. This is a 1 mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. And the equip cost, unfortunately, is 3. So it's pretty steep, but hopefully we're getting that for free on the Kemba. And since we have lots of ways to give counters in here, like Ironpaw Aspirant here, and like Lion Sash also getting counters on it as well. So I think Luxior could be a pretty neat pick. It also has equipped Planeswalker for 1, and equipped permanent isn't a planeswalker and is a creature in addition to its other types. So of course we have a couple planeswalkers packed in too. A couple Archangel Elspeths here. Not going to go over it. It has been out for a while. We don't get to see it too often, but we'll see it in some games hopefully, right? I just really wanted to focus on going over all the new stuff first. So we do have a couple Get Lost here. Brand new removal. It is a 2 mana instant speed, destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. That hits a lot. Its controller creates 2 map tokens. So is this better than Fateful Absence? I have no idea, but I have Fateful Absence in here too. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, its controller investigates. Just having both of these, it seems like they're both going to be really powerful pieces of spot removal, luckily. So more equipment, Sword of Forge and Frontier. This is a 3 mana equipment, equip cost of 2. And we are going to go over this, even though it's been a while, because we like never get to see this. So whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn as well. This is like an excellent piece of equipment, and equipping this for free off of like a Kemba or something just seems a little bit ridiculous, right? The mana base, guys, since it is a kitty cat build, we got all 4 Cavern of Souls, hopefully helping us. So that bottom ability here, so when this ETBs, you call cats for this deck. It taps for colorless, and then you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells of the chosen type, and that spell can't be countered. Nice. Just got done playing this in Pirates, and it seems pretty good. Essentially the same as Secluded Courtyard, except Secluded Courtyard doesn't have that whole can't be countered stuff. But you can use that bottom ability of Courtyard to activate creature abilities, which I guess kind of matters in here, like off of the Kemba's bottom. But by the time you have 5 mana, you probably have double white outside of the Courtyards anyways. Well, maybe not. You know, 4 of each of these is a lot. So I have a single Restless Prairie. Here's a new land. So it ETB's tapped like all the other Restless land. You can tap it for Selesnya colors. You can pay 2, a green and a white, and have it become a 3/3 green and white llama. It's still a land. And whatever Restless Prairie attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That is sick, dude. That is, yeah, all the Restless land just seems so good. Opting for some fast land between the Brushland and the Thickets, we have a Who Endures and a Suit of the Empire, and heavily leaning towards the white mana because that's what the deck is leaning towards, huh? Honorable mention over here, just like Overgrown Farmland. It's just like, yeah, I guess you could choose whatever mana you want, but I opted for the fast land this time, and I don't think we're actually going to need it. Yeah, like at all. I think the mana's a little bit too fixed in here, actually, because anything that's not a cat is just completely colorless too, so, well, except for the 2 Get Lost in the Fateful Absence, but still. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and take this into some games and see how we do. All right, guys, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. If not, I'll go ahead and pause. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Oh, super jank. I think this is going to be super janky, but it's going to be really fun too. So, found an opponent. Let's go. Okay. Let's do this. Cavern of Souls, Thicket. We got an Ironpaw, Kemba. Okay, yeah, no, this is keepable, right? None of our 1 mana equipments, unfortunately, but that's totally fine. Opponent goes first. We could draw into one of our 1 mana equipments too, so yeah, I don't think we get rid of this, and we start with the Thicket here. even though it doesn't necessarily matter right now. I guess if we end up seeing like 3 more thickets off the top, then it would matter. Well, I guess it does matter, so that way they don't know we're playing cats, but like, yeah, I don't know if that matters either. Brushland. Cavern. Cat. That's so fun, dude. Okay, what do we got over here? Sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a +1/+1 counter. Oh, okay. Some Mardu sacrifice potentially, right? Let's go with kitty cat and put that +1 counter on itself. I guess Kemba would have been fine too. I don't know. I guess either one would have been fine, because even if we got Kemba and saw some equipment, then whenever we played the Ironpaw... Oh, Urabrask Forge. Oh no. Oh jeez, guys, that's rough business. Okay. I'll tell you what, it's about to get a lot worse if another Forge comes down next turn. Another Kemba. Flanker's pretty good. It's probably going to be... So first of all, cat. Jewel Thief is good here too, but we don't necessarily need the treasure right away. But using it next turn could be good because we'll have 5 then. Okay, I talked myself into it. So they could sacrifice. That's a good trade for us if that's what they end up doing. I think they take the 2 here, guys. I do. Because they could sacrifice Forge to make that a little bit higher, but that's like that's trading Forge for a 2/3, you know what I mean? Okay, let's get the Jewel Thief down. Go, kitty cats, go! Okay. Okay, now we'll have 5 for next turn, so we can do Flanker and Kemba. Unfortunately, none of our equipment, but we don't have too much equipment in here. It was gonna originally be not Selesnya. We were gonna have red in here for some of the other equipments, but I feel like making the mana base too convoluted. First of all, it would have ruined the whole Cavern of Souls side of things, having a bunch of red equipments packed in, you know what I mean? I feel like it actually would have made it more janky at that point. Rite of Oblivion. They do get... Okay, I see how that worked now. Okay. So we can play the Brushland. We don't need Courtyard right now. We have this. I guess we start with the... swing. Still have 2 mana open, and I still don't think they trade out that Urabrask just to kill the 2/3, right? Get the Kemba down. And we still have 3 for the flanker. The land wasn't great, but... no equipment, unfortunately. Poor Kemba. But they're doing the cat thing, so that's what matters, right? And if we were up against blue, then Cavern of Souls, man, making it so that way they can't counter, that just seems brutal. Brutal stuff. Just like, in general, going for these type of decks with Cavern of Souls, man, it takes certain blue builds out of the equation sometimes. I mean, you're not going to see Cavern of Souls every game, but still, it's wild to think about. Like that bottom ability. That spell can't be countered. Yeah, that's just wild to me. Wedding announcement, dude. Okay. I think we're going to go... I think we're going to exile their graveyard off the flanker. We could also block and then play flanker for an extra counter. Probably not. Let's take the 3. They have... Well, if we don't... Okay, I'll go for the block. Take 1. Then they don't have the sacrifice here. We get an extra counter on... No, okay, alright, no blocks. I'm sorry, opponent. There's, apparently there's a lot for me to think about. Because now they can sacrifice that to this guy. That's a 4/3 now. And I'm going to go ahead and exile their graveyard to get rid of that Rite of Oblivion. Might seem a little silly rather than getting that Scry too, but since we're going to have 5 again, if anything happens to Kemba... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Kemba's legendary, so... Is it gonna land? They still have 2 open. It could be spot removal, which they would want to do after the fact. No equipment, unfortunately. Let's go ahead, exile their grave, get rid of that Rite of Oblivion. All right. We don't have terrific swings, and they have chump blockers for days. Another flanker. Okay, call cat. We do have this ability to generate some cats there too. So this blocks there. That's pretty easy for them, huh? That's pretty easy for them. Let's hold back for now. Like literally just hold everything back. That's super unfortunate. We have this for 5 mana. We have flanker. And I guess it still kind of seems like a board wipe style deck, but with this guy, they wouldn't really want to lose that guy. Because yeah, if they're wiping boards and restocking with announcement and forge every turn anyways, then... But if they do wipe a board, then flanker comes down with some counters. Either way, I think we might block this turn, depending on where they end up swinging. I think we're in trouble. The draws were pretty bad, which might be the deck's fault, right? More testing required, of course. Yeah, it might be how the deck is set up, but because we do have a lot of 3-drops, which obviously hold us up often. Oh, Mycosynth Garden. Nice opponent. Dude. Okay. That's double forge now. I didn't even see that over there. So this is going to get another 1/1. They're generating 2 from this. They get to sacrifice both. Oh, we're in so much trouble. So I'm thinking we block. So it has trample too. It has trample. So if we end up... Oh! Yeah, no, that's probably safe. They're probably safe to do that. So I'm gonna... Alright. I'm gonna do this. They're forced to sacrifice something else here. Probably this 1/1, right? And I'm gonna take less damage, so that's gone. They can't sacrifice it at the end. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But losing 2 creatures means flanker comes down with double the counters, which is really good. Oh, I should have blocked with Kemba. That way we could have successfully played Kemba next turn and a flanker. Yeah. Since this has legendary, I should have blocked with Kemba instead of our 2/3. I don't know why I did that. It looks like this might die anyways. It is gonna die. It is an exile. Resolve. And then flanker. This looks brutal, man. Okay, +1 counter for each creature that left the battlefield under your control this turn, which is really cool. It's too bad that the announcement still chump blocks it really well. Look at that. That's a 6/4, 3-drop. Of course, we lost everything on our board, but still, really cool. Oh no, mana. Oh no. Oh no, they actually drew. That's right, they did get that swing, didn't they? So, alright, we swing. There's a small chance, small sliver of hope. They're gonna remove probably with the Rite of Oblivion. Which I guess we could go flanker on our turn to exile that. But then if they don't swing, they are gonna get that chump blocker on the ground here. Tough decisions this first game, guys. Really tough decisions. I guess, since that's activating, we're at 15. I guess we do it on our turn. So that way, well, this is... Okay, yeah, no, let's do this. Let's do this. So, exile target player's graveyard. Get rid of that Rite of Oblivion. It's pretty good, man. I don't mind just getting rid of those so that way they can't flash it back. Like, there's just so much value, and getting rid of just a little bit of that value could go a long way. See, if they swing with both of these, then Wedding Announcement just draws them a card instead of generating a chump blocker on the ground. 12 damage. Let's do this. No blocks. Let's do this. Let's see that like lightning strike or something, right? I don't think this is the type of deck, but you never know. They could have like 2 of them in there or something. But yeah. If we didn't block, it would have been a chump into this, since these have trample. Obnixilis, the first one generates a devil. They go back up to 10 on the second one, right? So they have that. Wedding Announcement's going to draw, not generate. So maybe they go 2 blockers. I think 2 blockers would be better than the life gain. Just devil, devil, and then chump block for days. Oh, never mind. We're dead. I wasn't even thinking. Good game, opponent. I wonder what they were waiting for. I wonder if they forgot about that too. Oh, I didn't get to drop of the good game. Yeah, no, they just go plus, and we didn't have anything in hand to discard to not take the 2 damage. So wasn't even thinking twice about that. I was just thinking like, how could they survive the turn? But now they had lethal. That was a good game overall. Yeah, maybe we have too many 3-drops in here, but we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts, I would say. Right into the next game. Get Lost would have been pretty bad against that last one. Actually, no, getting rid of their big creature. This is a mulligan, isn't it? We go first. Okay, mulligan. Oh boy. Oh, okay, yes. What do we get rid of? Probably one of these, even though it has a huge target. I don't really want to get rid of a land yet. Okay, it might be, maybe it was Brushland. That way we keep everything. Speaking of Brushland, I'm going to do that instead of Cavern of Souls. Already, we got to talk about more equipment for the build, but the concept of having Kemba in here wasn't to completely push like the equipment side of things. It was to have an extra cat that does a thing. And so hopefully that's fine. Okay, Cavern of Souls is going to do the thing. So let's do Jewel Thief for the turn, right? Let's start with a swing. See what happens. 2 gets through. Green. Jewel Thief. Can't be countered. Get that treasure, then we can play Who Endures as a land if we see a 2-drop. Actually, we pretty much, like, if we see anything, it would not be bad. Who Endures is actually open, too, for 1 mana since Kemba's a legendary. So if we have something that we wouldn't mind hitting. Invasion. Okay, that should probably scare us a little bit, right? We're gonna keep that Who Endures as a land. Oh, Giada. Okay. No, nothing that gives counters right now, though, except the flanker when it comes time. I wonder if it's going to be a double block into the Kemba. But I can't cast spells on our turn, so we probably start with that, right? Unless we wanted that free equip on the Luxior. I was just kind of thinking of equipping it to the flanker, unfortunately. Without any counters on either of these, it doesn't really matter right now. I'm gonna keep the treasure and play the Luxior. I don't really like that. We should have at least got the free equip onto this. So that's my bad, guys. I wasn't really thinking twice about the fact that we were gonna get a free equip off a kitty cat. I was just thinking like playing cards down. Target creature you control explores. Oh, that's scary. They pass it back. They want to keep some blockers out there. Do have the 5 off of Kemba. Let's get the Cavern down. If we full swing first, then flanker has a chance of coming down with some counters on this turn. They'd probably double block into this. It's too bad nothing has that buff. Yeah, Luxior not doing anything for stuff that doesn't have counters. All right, let's do this. Full swing. They don't know what's in hand, right? So are they gonna take this? Really? Down to 5. We keep Flanker in hand for their turn, depending on where they swing here. Okay, that buffs Merfolk, so luckily these Krakens aren't Merfolk. Still have 2 mana open. Definitely just get the Flanker down for fun at this point. No counterspell for it because Cavern of Souls. And we didn't lose any creatures, but we do get that free equip. Good game, opponent. Good game. I wonder what was on top. So Luxior not doing anything. Not enough in here to give counters potentially, but let's not forget that we do have a 4 of a creature that gives itself counters, and a 4 of a creature that gives itself counters off of Flanker, and another 4 of a 2-drop that when it ETBs you put counters to. I don't know, the double Luxiors. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We might have a lot to talk about in the final thoughts here. Just based on how it's playing out, it's not doing exactly what I was expecting. That was a pretty aggressive game though overall. Our cats did a thing. We just didn't get to see too much. Yeah, the Flanker seems wild, man. Maybe we even want 4 of those and drop like 1 Jewel Thief, but Jewel Thief seems really good too, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have a lot to say in the final thoughts this time round. But luckily, we are 26 minutes in, so we have time for 1 or 2 more games easily. Oh, this is bad. This is a really bad hand. We go first, right? This is bad. Yes, this is bad. All right, mulligan. Oh, crap. Okay, let's give it a shot. Keep 6. What am I ditching? We actually have an equipment this time, so we probably want to keep that, and we're still 2 land away from Sovereign, so I'm going to send it. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately. We start with Restless Prairie. Right into Ironpaw, which is just a 2/3 kitty cat. Oh! Lion Sash. Okay. That's probably pretty good too, right? Cat. Lion Sash. Nice. Just like calling cat, man. I love it. And the Aspirant could totally buff the Sash, which is probably a little better since it when you reconfigure this, the equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on the Lion Sash, so Mill 2. Get Lost needs to have a better target than a Gnawing Vermin, and it blocks really well because of that -1/-1, unfortunately. Okay, no land off the top. Do I pick up a thing? Or do I just go Ironpaw? I think it's going to be... Okay, I guess it's going to be Hunter's Blowgun for the turn. And activate this while they're tapped out, just in case, right? Let's go ahead and hit the Souls of the Lost. And I'm not going to swing, because that blocks really well. So I'll land off the top there. I mean, I guess we could have done Lion Sash's ability and the Ironpaw for the turn and then swung. Okay, Urborg, swinging for 1, no blocks. That's a 4/5. Is that worthwhile for the Get Lost? Maybe. We could also just activate this ability. We can't equip that. Well, giving this Death Touch, that's an easy block for them, right? Alright, it's gonna be Get Lost and swing for 2. That's rough, man. That's rough. 2 map counters is pretty good for them, based on, like, Sultai Graveyard, you know what I mean? Oh, Lion Sash is gonna die anyways to the Echo. We really need to see that 3rd mana off the top. Oh, no. Oh, no. This was already a mulligan, too. If I would have kept that first hand, how many land was in the first hand? Oh, Jace, I bet that's to target themselves, right? Mill themselves. Wow, they're going for it, dude. Okay, the Sprout's gonna flip next turn, so no blocks. Lion Sash just not doing too much here at all. Oh no, another 3 mana card, guys. Oh no. Let's just go ahead and give our poor Lion Sash a little buff. Dead swing. This was a particularly bad one, huh? But Lion Sash happens to work really well against this style of deck. And it would have been really cool to get those extra draws off of the Exemplar too. Jace, and I don't think they have to target themselves anymore, but I mean, I suppose just go for -2 for the draw. Then that graveyard has 20 or more cards in it, draw 3. Yeah, they can target themselves. 1, 2, 3. Yikes, man, that looks super scary. My poor little Hunter's Blowgun over here, not doing too much either. And at this point, if we see the 3rd mana, it's just like way too late. Woo, buddy, that is a 25, 26. Let's go ahead, take that damage. Hey, we got there. Kitty cat, go, go, go. All right, let's just, for the fun of it, play our fun kitty cat instead of like the sword or anything. Okay. Okay, no attacks. We do have blocks for the turn, but they might have some spot removal. Also the map tokens, yeah, the get lost. Let's see. Is it worth it just to hit those extra enchantments? Is it worth like the double map tokens? That's the question, right? Over like a Fateful Absence Investigate. In this scenario, I would say the 2 map tokens were better for this particular deck, right? Outside of that, if it like even if it was Investigate, then they still would have drawn 2 there too. So maybe there could be like different removal instead. What do you guys think? Take 7? Let's do it. Let's do it. Chump the 28, 29, down to 1. And this is it. This turn, we're going to deal 16 damage. Now, like, Shieldred could come down and end this game, right? Like I said, I haven't seen too much Shieldred today in the early access. I'm pretty sure everyone's getting sick and tired of Shieldred, so I don't think I've seen it a single time, actually. Wonder what's holding the opponent up here. Is it the map token? Opponent? Oh, there they are. Okay, okay. I got concerned. Like, I thought maybe I froze. Ancient One. Dude. Playing everything out. Dude. Oh my goodness, man. This is wild. That looks super scary. They say go ahead and take that mill. I guess just in case, right? They don't want to accidentally deck themselves out. Oh, wow. Archangel's actually a really good draw. It is. It is. It's actually terrific. All right, let's go ahead and grab. How about... I don't know, like the choop, what is it called? The Echo. Yeah, we'll go ahead and buff again here. We'll take the Lurgoyf, sure. Yeah, Lion Sash is like terrific against this deck, but oh, I should have attacked. Maybe they would have let the attack go through just for fun, right? Since they're gonna win this turn anyways. Very good game, opponent. Scary stuff. Unfortunately, didn't get the mana there. Had I seen the mana on time? No, we weren't getting through. I don't think so, right? I don't think so. I'm gonna go ahead and let them swing on in here. Potentially, as long as it doesn't take too long, right? I'm also ready to drop the GGs once the swing actually comes in, right? That's a very fun swing. I'm not even gonna chump the 26, 27. I'm going to block like the non-vermins or something. They can actually use Jace first. We do have 1 mana open, but it taps for colorless, so unless we had like a wild... Oh, the Restless Reef as well. Mill 4 cards. They can target us just in case, I suppose, right? I guess at that point it doesn't matter much. And like I said, I'm going to let the 26 go through. Good game. Very cool deck. That is, I believe, the second Salt Time Mill So you could totally see why it's worth trying out, right? Minus 55. I think that was a close one. Guys, we're 35 minutes in. Let's go one more. Come on. Let's see if this deck can draw just a little better. I know I was expecting jank, but oh, and I really want to see our 4-mana card come into play too. Okay. What's the 4-mana card called? It's like Sovereign something. Yeah, like, so it seems like a super interesting ability with like the difference between the base power and how much power it actually has. Then you give it that many +1 counters. With that ward too, I think it can get out of hand super fast. Okay, 25 seconds. Let's go ahead and pause until we find an opponent here. Okay, we found an opponent. Let's see. No 3rd mana. I'm super concerned now. We should have 24 total in here. I'm keeping it. Let's do this. I like seeing the Cavern. And we go Thicket first, just in case. I like seeing the turn 2 Lion Sash. We have a couple turns to see land off the top, which is going to be essential for this working out. Okay, that isn't land. Kitty Cat. Lion Sash. Come on, land off the top. Come on. Come on, guys. Yeah, like I said, we should have 24. Hopefully I don't have 23 because this is a 24 land style deck if I've ever seen one. What's this now? What is this? Oh. I'm gonna take the 1 for sure. Oh no, it wasn't land. No, guys. Okay, next turn. At least we have a 2-drop. That's important. Swing. Maybe we should have kept a blocker, actually. So, tap 2 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. Deals 1 damage to each opponent. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, with blood tokens? Oh, that's so cool. That's so neat, guys. Okay, come on, land. Come on, land. Voltage Surge, get that Lion Sash out of here. Yep. Activate Militia, so they don't have to swing. And they can do that with their creatures, too. Militia, Harvester. Or keep Militia as a blocker. Or Harvester, I guess. It is only as a sorcery, so they keep it back. We got the land! Dude, this is the game. Okay, so Jewel Thief gets us the 4th for the Sovereign. But now we don't have, like, Lion Sash to buff the board either now. That's okay, because, yeah, as long as we got the 3rd, that's what was important. Because now we have the treasure for the 4th, and we're good to go. Keep some blockers back, probably. Harvester does hit for -4/-4, but the Ward 2 doesn't really work well there, because, yeah, they can pay the 2 and use Harvester. Go for the throat. I guess it's a good thing we have 2 of these, right? But if I do... Oh, crap, that's so much spot removal, man. And they could still use Militia, tap the blood tokens? That's really sick, dude. That's really sick. I overlooked this card completely. I'm not even mad if the opponent runs away with this game, because that's just so cool. So yeah, Harvester, activate, pay 2, Sovereign's dead. So if I go like Jewel Thief, see Luxior not doing too much. I think it's Jewel Thief again since it blocks well. And try to get that Harvester to the Jewel Thief. I'm not going to go Luxior for the turn. I'm going to save that back just in case we need all of this. I don't know if we're going to need all of it, but I don't want to spend a treasure when we're having a rough time finding land. Yeah, I don't want to spend a treasure just to get Luxior down for now. Oh. Oh, that's going to do 4. Are we dead? Dude, we're dead. Dude, holy cow, good game, opponent. I mean, hey, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and that really worked out. That was a sick top deck. No, I wanted to look at the board state. I accidentally clicked through it. My bad, guys, my bad. Either way, let's go over the deck one more time. Selesnya Neocats. Next time I visited Selesnya Cats, I promised the comments that I would add the Neocats there too, so Selesnya Neocats. And when you make a promise to the comments, you gotta keep that promise, darn it, so Few things, man. Few things. Let's check. Yep, 24 land. It did not feel like 24, and I didn't design this to be a mid-range deck. I did design it to be a kind of aggressive. Ended up being super duper janky based on the draws. Just whoo, that was bad. Those were some really bad draws, right? The curve isn't as bad as you would expect based on what we saw there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like cards like Lion Sash really help curves out when you are struggling to spend all your mana. Okay, few things. First of all, flanker. We probably want 4 of these, right? It seemed really good. But so did the Jewel Thief. If we drop down to 2, maybe we drop down to like 1 sword, but then that's less equipment to work with the Kemba. But Kemba wasn't like the main source of everything in the build anyways, you know? If it was, we'd have 4 of them. I don't know. More testing required, man. I really wanted to see how Sovereign actually worked out. So whenever it attacks, for each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power, you put a +1/+1 counter on that creature equal to the difference. I just feel like that could get out of hand so fast, but I really wanted to actually see it in play because that's kind of how I learn cards, right? I don't learn the cards well from just reading them. I see them and I'm like, oh, that's how that does it, or that how it interacts. And so I really wanted to see this activate. Archangel would have been sweet today too. Too bad we didn't get this down, because whenever I was going over the deck, I was like, oh, we're not going to go over it. We'll see it in the games. We didn't see it in the games. But like that -2, giving counters, giving flying, all that would be huge, right? The Get Lost in the Fateful Absence, we're fine, spot removal, but the Get Lost seems a little excessive with those 2 map tokens. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. It's worth the test for sure, especially in the early access. I didn't see that top end, not like it mattered too much because we had trouble playing anything. We wouldn't have been able to go super wide for this to do a lot anyways. So some stuff to like increase the overall like just consistency of the build. I could see, oh man, this is a tough decision. Dropping down to 1 Luxior, I still think the 1 is fine, especially since you have that potential of equipping it to the Archangel too and doing some silly stuff, but also just because we're not worried about the 3 equip cost, we're trying to actually have it be a little bit free off the Kemba too. The Ironpaw was pretty janky, but it's still really cool putting counters on other stuff too. Hunter's Blowgun was actually pretty sweet, but we didn't get to see it do too much today. But the most important part of this is the fact that it's colorless. That's important. And the fact that it gives +1/+1, so that way the cards like the Kutzil here, you know, actually have a chance of restocking your hand, and then the same concept with the Sovereign, smacking counters onto those 2. Oh man, you look at this and you're just like, oh yeah, this should totally do a thing, at least a little bit, at least in the jank side of things, but it just doesn't feel like it once you actually get it out and going against those other builds. But also maybe we got unlucky too. I guess that's also a possibility. You guys know I don't like to blame it on being unlucky too often, but you guys will have to let me know in the comments. Did we get a little unlucky with a lot of those draws today? I feel like missing that land for so many turns on some of those games was really bad. A lot of mulligans, so that probably comes down to the curve of the build too. So I could see dropping a sword, and I could see dropping a Luxior, but what do we go up at that point? Let me know in the comments. I could see going up a 4th flanker and dropping a Jewel Thief as well. 2 Jewel Thieves is still going to be pretty good. Maybe some more early stuff, right? More 1-drops, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to make this more consistent. Going into adding red? Maybe adding red. I said that would potentially make it more janky, but maybe not. And like maybe then you wouldn't be able to lean into the whole cavern and the secluded courtyard side of things as much, but still. Yeah, still a pretty neat one, guys. Still really fun just slamming kitty cats down onto the board. I wonder, I hope at least one of the opponents said, neat, they're playing cats. Either way, guys, hey, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I keep forgetting to bring it up, but let me know what you think of the new red cat artwork. It's not always going to have a pirate hat on, but for now, during the Ixalan early access, and maybe some of the when Ixalan actually releases too, we'll keep the pirate hat on for the, it's just a special event, you know what I mean? Either way, yeah. Thanks again for being here, and I will see you in the next video.